Emily Simpson from Real Housewives of Orange County. Me and Evan are so excited to talk to you because we gave you a title, and it's the confessional queen of this season.
Oh, okay, yeah. I feel like they just get better, too.
Oh my God, you keep getting better and better. You've been absolutely on fire. Did you go into the season with zingers prepared, or is it all on the spot? Like, how does this happen?
I think, because I think there's a couple ways you can take the show. I think there are people that take the show very seriously.
You don't.
I don't.
No, you absolutely don't.
Because even with your tagline, when you're like, I just question people for fun now. You're like, I'm just having fun. Oh.
And, that's where I'm at. I mean, we all know because you watch the show, like, there are certain people that drama just follows them everywhere. Like, I don't know how it happens. It's like they roll out of bed in the morning and drama is just, like, there. Like, I'm not one of those people. So I feel like I have the leniency to be more jovial about the situation because I'm not getting sued. My nemesis isn't on the cast with us. I don't have a messy life. I really don't.
That's so nice. So you can bring the
I
mess
just
in
like
the
to
confessionals.
comment on everyone else's.
Wait, and while the fans are living for your comments, are the ladies? Have you been hearing from any of the ladies?
Yeah,
No,
any text messages?
I did.
Okay,
Yeah. I mean, you can guess from who. Yeah, but my whole point is at the end of the day, as a group of women together, I feel like globally we made a really good season, you know?
Yeah.
And so to watch an episode and nitpick something someone said 6 months ago that hurt your feelings, like, is that really what we should be focusing on? I feel like together we should just be like, yay.
Well, it is funny because even because Jen has been on the receiving end of some of your gold. But even when we were talking to her recently, she was like, no, me and Emily are good. She's like, I think she kind of gets the nature of you.
And you know what? I appreciate that about Jen. I do really have good, and Gina, like, I've been making fun of Gina for 6 years, but she just gives it back. You know what I mean? Like, that's how we banter. And I love that Jen can just kind of take some hits and roll with it. Like, I really appreciate that about her, I think that she gets me and just understands that it's not an attack. Like, that's just, I've been married to Shane Simpson for 15 years. Do you understand? Like, that is how I communicate. Like, that's my love language, right?
How did Shannon react to the Archie impersonation? That was, by the way, that will go down in Housewives history. That was so good.
Okay, I have seen her since then, and she did not bring it up. She didn't mention it, so I feel like we're good. I didn't get a text. I think maybe she just rolled with it.
Okay, that's good. No, we were definitely rolling with it. Like, rolling on the floor laughing. It was so funny. It's been really nice actually to see you and Gina though build this friendship with Shannon so far this season, because at one point y'all were absolutely not getting along. And it's kind of interesting to see, like, at the beginning you and Gina even said, like, oh, I thought she should have gone to rehab, but then you sat down with her, she apologized. Like, when you look back on your journey with Shannon, how do you think she handled the DUI situation after the fact?
I think that Shannon did everything that she could possibly do in that situation. I mean, I was there when she apologized to Gina, and we all know that she gave Gina a hard time. Yeah. She was relentless about the DUI. She brought it up all the time. She told other people about it. I feel like she tried to make Gina look bad, and then she got humbled. And instead of doubling down, I think she just took that moment and really was vulnerable and really apologized. And, you know, I've had people say, well, why would Gina accept it? Well, because Gina's a good person. That's why. And when someone lays the sword down and just is humble and says, I'm sorry, I messed up, I mean, I feel like as humans, you only have the choice to just say, I forgive you, and then hope that you can repair it going forward.
I know. I feel there were a lot of people going into the season being like, oh, Gina's going to go on a warpath to Shannon, because there's some people that were like, kind of warranted, because you're like, okay, fair is fair type of stuff, but it has been really nice seeing you and Gina kind of just being on Shannon's side, especially since a lot of, like, her friendships are in flux. And she's dealing with Alexis, dealing with John, like, she's dealing with a lot on top of the DUI situation.
Okay, she deals with more than I think any human should have to deal with.
Yes.
And a lot of people will be like, well, are you team Shannon or are you team Alexis? I'm not team anything. I'm team humanity. I felt like this is someone who's struggling, who's being vulnerable, who's putting herself out there, who's apologizing, who's trying to take ownership of what she did. And then she also has to deal with her nemesis coming on to the show, and she has to relive this relationship with John over and over, and it's not going away. It just keeps getting worse, and she gets sued, and you know what? It's just, it's never ending for her, and I just felt like this is more than any one person should have to deal with.
And you had been close with Alexis for years before she came on the show, and then you're, rebuilding this friendship with Shannon. You didn't take a side, but did either of them want you to take a side? Did you feel that energy from either of them?
I mean, I did feel that. I think we all did, and I think that was what was difficult for all of us, was we were kind of trying to navigate, like, still being friends with Alexis, but not liking how Alexis was handling things with Shannon, but being friends with Shannon, but then, irritating Alexis because she feels like everybody believes Shannon. And it was messy, and it was very difficult to navigate.
Yeah.
I'm here. Do you believe, because I don't know if you saw this, that Alexis said John would have paid her not to do the show?
Thank you for bringing that up. That makes,
of course.
I had to read that a couple times and then I think I screenshot it and sent it to Shane. I was like, what the F? Like, I don't even understand what this is. Like, what are we even, like, that makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah, I had to reread the headline a few times because why didn't you just take it?
Take
right?
the money and go.
I don't know.
But I don't understand why he would, like, what was the conversation? Was he like, well, if you decide not to go on the show, I'll just pay you. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you're dating, you go on trips together. What, is he write you a check? Like, I don't, does he Venmo you?
Is there an HR?
Like, I don't understand. Do they take taxes out of that?
Well,
Like,
it's true.
Does her agent get some of that?
Right.
She has an agent. Like, does her publicist take a percentage? Like, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, that's interesting. I remember talking to you at Kathy Hilton's event back in, like, November 2023, and this was a few weeks after she and John made a splash at The Quiet Woman, before it was confirmed that she was on the show. And I remember you telling me, I don't think Alexis is less than smart enough to actually pursue a real relationship with John, now that she has absolutely pursued it. She's promised up.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Do you think that?
Well, that's interesting you bring that up, because she actually told me that night after Kathy Hilton's party, we went back to Orange County together. She told me that night in the car that she and John were a thing, like they were in a relationship. And I was like, okay. Okay.
Cheers.
All right. And when she told me, I mean, I never had an issue with her dating John. I mean, they're adults. They live in Orange County. They like each other. They seem happy. That's fine. I mean, I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
But I didn't think less of her or anything. And she doesn't owe, like, you talk about girl code, she doesn't owe anything to Shannon. They're not friends. They never filmed together. So I just thought it was odd. But I don't know.
Do you still think it's odd? Like, does it make more sense now that you've seen it in person?
They seem to be very, very, very happy, because they want you to know how happy they are.
Okay, we love happiness.
You love when people shout, "We are in love," and you're like, "I didn't ask."
We are happy.
I didn't ask. Wait, because and also with girl code, they don't have any girl code, and I don't think Katie and Heather have any girl code, and will never have any girl code.
There's no.
Does that get worse? That's also confusing me.
That okay. Well, what's your question? Go. Let's.
Do you think she called the paparazzi?
Yeah.
Like, who do you believe?
You do think that is what?
Yeah, like you've said that, but now who do you believe?
Okay, when Katie first told me. When she told me, she was very compelling. She speaks very calmly. She speaks very intelligently. She has this contact. I reached out to my contact, and I thought, okay, well, she does. First of all, let me just say, I don't care whether she does or not. It doesn't make me think any differently about Heather if she does or if she doesn't.
Like, is it the worst thing to be a Real Housewife who calls a paparazzi on herself?
I mean, and you know what? If she does, it makes sense to me. She lives in LA. Her husband's famous. She's famous. If they do, I'm like, okay, well, that's... Maybe that works for you. That's for your brand. It makes sense for you.
They look great in photos.
I'm not calling the paparazzi. They're not interested in me at Lifetime with my kids on the slide. That's not fun. I get that, but they have a very glamorous life in LA, so that made sense to me. So when she told me, I was like, oh yeah, okay, of course she does, right? Then as the season progresses, I feel like Katie just becomes less and less credible.
Oh.
So then I go back and think, well, maybe when she initially told me, there wasn't a lot of credibility there. So, I'm questioning.
That's the thing when she's like, read the receipt, and it's just a text, yes.
Right.
I'm like, oh, I was waiting for the receipt to be received.
Okay, and this is where I think she messed up because when she showed me that screenshot, I'm like, is it compelling? Yes. Is it clear and convincing? Absolutely not. So I said to her, and I don't know if they showed this, but I was like, look, you got to get your ducks in a row. Like, this isn't a lot. But I had to be careful because I couldn't give her too much. You know, I couldn't.
You don't want to piss off Dubrow.
No, I can't.
No.
I can't, like, give her too much information because then I'm an accessory, right?
Right.
So I'm just like, girl, you better get your ducks in a row. That's all I'm saying.
Before we wrap up, obviously you won the golfing match.
Yeah.
You say you love winning. You're winning at life. Who do you think is winning this season of Real Housewives of Orange County, and who's been losing?
I think Shannon's really winning, and I think she deserves that. I think that she came into the season with the deck stacked against her. She's got a DUI. She has John's new girlfriend. She's getting sued. And I think she just continues to look like the bigger person and the better party in all of this.
I love that. And then who's losing?
I mean, Alexis is clearly losing this battle.
Okay.
Wait, and before we let you go, I have one last question. And it's coming from a place of love because I love Gina. And you said you make fun of her sometimes.
I do make fun of her.
Have you been seeing the new confessional look and people's thoughts of it online?
No, I haven't seen it. Is it not good?
It's a statement.
It's a statement.
It's a statement.
It's a statement.
Yeah, I'm
okay,
interested
well,
to
I
see
haven't
what you think.
seen it.
Okay.
And honestly, I love Gina, so
I love Gina.
I would never say anything derogatory about her, but maybe I'll call her later and be like, girl, I don't know what you were thinking, but but I do give her props for I think she takes fashion risks.
She does take a risk, yes.
She does, and I don't.
Right.
And so I feel like I just always go with like the simple, classy, throw some earrings on, that's it. But I do think that she
has fun.
She has fun with it.
Yes.
I've always said there's fashion and there's style, but I think Gina has style. Fashion is you go into Prada, you buy a top and a bottom, and you're fashionable. Style is when you pull a lot of different things and you create.
And it tells your story.
And I think she does that. And maybe it was a misfire. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I think she's making it work. Anyways, you're always making it work. Emily, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it.
How many texts am I going to get now?